Hey, it's Wade with eXp Realty. Welcome to my channel where every week I dive into everything you need to know about living your best life in the Nashville area. Before we get started, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Give this video a like. I think you'll want to stick around to the end. And don't forget to drop me a comment. I love to get feedback, love to talk about the Nashville area. And today we're diving into a topic that might surprise you. Why Mount Juliet, Tennessee might not be the best place for you. Yep, we're spilling the tea on all the challenges of living here. But don't take my word for it, stick around and let's see if you agree with these points. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below if you think I'm spot on or way off base. Either way, I love the feedback. First, let's talk about housing and neighborhoods. We'll talk about the houses first. Home prices in Mount Juliet have skyrocketed over the past few years, making it one of the more expensive areas in the region. The average home price is now around $500K, and in sought-after neighborhoods like Providence, prices easily push past $700,000. But what exactly do you get for that price? Well, homes here are generally newer, with modern amenities, and many are located in well-planned communities with HOA-maintained landscapes and amenities like pools, walking trails, those type of things. But here's the catch. HOA fees can add an extra cost, and property taxes, while lower than some neighboring states, still add up over time. If you're thinking about renting, the situation, it's not a whole lot better. Rental prices average around $2,200 per month for a 3-bedroom, and even apartments are pricey. For example, a 2-bedroom apartment in a newer complex can set you back $1,800 or more per month. The demand for rental properties is high due to the influx of people moving here, which means options can be limited and landlords, they often have the upper hand. So let's chat for a minute. Do you think these prices are justified for what you're getting? Would you rather buy a home and deal with the mortgage and maintenance costs, or do you prefer renting despite the high rates? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love to get the feedback. All right, let's talk about traffic. If you're commuting to Nashville, get ready for long waits on Lebanon Road and I-40 during rush hours. Depending on where you're coming from, what should be a 20-minute drive can easily turn into a 45-minute headache. Sometimes even longer if there's an accident or construction, which there often is. And don't even get me started on weekends near Providence Marketplace. The traffic jams can be brutal. In public transportation, well, let's just say you won't be relying on a metro system or frequent bus service here. The Music City Star commuter train has a stop in Mount Juliet, but its schedule is limited and it only takes you to downtown Nashville. If you work anywhere outside of that, you'll still need a car. So here's the big question. Could you handle this daily grind? Would the longer commute be worth it for you, or does this sound like a deal breaker? Let me know in the comments. For some people, it's fine. They love Mount Juliet. They don't mind a 30-minute drive. And if you have any traffic horror stories or know some survival tips, drop them in the comments. All right, next let's talk about outdoors. And Mount Juliet does have some beautiful parks like Charlie Daniels Park, Long Hunter State Park, which is great for outdoor lovers. You'll find hiking trails, playgrounds, and even a splash pad for kids, but there's a catch. The summers here are really hot and humid, with temperatures often climbing into the 90s. If you're not a fan of sweating the second you step outside, summer activities might not be as enjoyable as you'd hope. And if you got allergies, brace yourself. This area is known for high pollen levels, especially in the spring and fall. Ragweed, oak, and grass pollen are common triggers, making allergy season downright miserable for many residents. I suffer from allergies and I take some antihistamines. I just use the best brand, and it's manageable if you do that. Next, let's talk about dining and restaurants. Providence Shopping Center has plenty of big name stores and restaurants, and it's super convenient for quick shopping trips and dining out. You'll find places like Target and Best Buy there, Chick-fil-A, and more. Definitely great for a one-stop shopping experience. But here's the downside. There's not a lot of unique local charm. It's chain heavy, and that can feel a bit generic. If you're someone who loves supporting small businesses like I do, you might find yourself driving to nearby areas like East Nashville or Lebanon to get the authentic local experience. All right, let's talk about the food scene. You got plenty of well-known restaurant chains, but if you're looking for a variety of chef-owned restaurants, Mount Juliet might fall short. There's a few locally owned spots sprinkled throughout the city, but they're not as abundant as in other areas. And if you're like me, I like the locally owned. I like independent owned restaurants. And if you like that, you might have to drive a little bit. I don't mind driving a little bit. And what about coffee shops? If you're a coffee lover, you might be wondering about local cafes. And there are a few like Billy Goat Coffee, but Starbucks still dominates the scene. And that's probably not a deal breaker, but if you're like me, I like a good caramel macchiato, and I like to go to kind of my familiar spot besides Starbucks. And so drop me a comment. Do you prefer the reliability of big name stores and restaurants, or do you seek out those small, locally owned places that bring character to a city? I kind of like the locally owned. So now let's get a little more serious. Let's talk about safety. And while Mount Juliet is relatively safe compared to many cities, the property crime rate is slightly above the national average. Car break-ins are a common issue, particularly in shopping center parking lots and driveways. And if you're planning on moving here, just get a good security system. Lock your car at all times. Now, violent crime is low, which is a big plus. However, package thefts and occasional home burglaries have been reported, especially in new developments. Homes are being built, they're left open. So just be aware of that. Another thing to consider is Mount Juliet's location. On the surface, being close to Nashville seems like a great thing. You can get downtown in about 20 to 30 minutes, assuming there's no traffic. But as we talked about earlier, traffic can be brutal, and that commute can quickly become 45 minutes or more during peak hours. Then there's the cost of living. You're paying higher home prices and increased property taxes, but you don't necessarily get all the perks of big city living. Mount Juliet lacks the nightlife, cultural hotspots, diverse entertainment options that Nashville has to offer. And if you love concerts, museums, or a variety of international dining options, you'll likely find yourself making frequent trips into the city. And let's not forget, Nashville is famous for its country music scene. If you love country music, that's a win. But if you're more into rock, jazz, EDM, you might feel like you're missing out. Nashville does have some other genres. The city's identity is still deeply rooted in country music. So, what do you think? Is being close to Nashville enough of a benefit to deal with higher costs and longer commutes? Or would you, rather live in a place that has more going on locally and is a quieter suburban lifestyle? What's more your speed? Let me know in the thoughts below. And finally, let's talk about the weather. Summers here are hot, humid, and downright sticky. Temperatures frequently climbing into the 90s and heat indexes, making it feel even worse. If you're someone who enjoys spending time outdoors, the extreme heat might put a damper on your plans. You'll be cranking up the AC, and your electricity bill will definitely reflect that. Winters, on the other hand, are mild compared to northern states, but they can feel damp and dreary with lots of overcast days. We do get occasional ice storms, which can make roads dangerous and cause power outages. So if you were hoping for a winter wonderland, you might be disappointed. And then there's the severe weather risks. Spring and early summer bring thunderstorms, heavy rains, and tornado warnings. Middle Tennessee is part of what's known as Dixie Alley, meaning tornadoes are a real possibility. If you're not used to severe weather, this could be something to seriously consider before moving here. How do you feel about that kind of climate? Would the hot, humid summers be a deal breaker, or do you prefer warm weather over long, harsh winters? And how do you feel about the tornado risk? Does it make you think twice about living here? Give me your thoughts. I like to get feedback. So there you have it. Mount Juliet might not be the paradise some make it out to be. High home prices, traffic, allergies, other factors like weather might give you pause. But now it's your turn. Do you think Mount Juliet is still worth it, or would you look elsewhere? A lot of people think it's worth it. Share your opinions in the comments. I'm excited to hear what you think. If you're still intrigued and want to explore more about Mount Juliet, reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you navigate the real estate market and find the perfect fit for you. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and if you have questions about moving to Mount Juliet or anywhere in the Nashville area, text me or call me anytime at 615-436-5995. I love to talk about this area. Seriously, helping people find their dream home here is what I love to do. You can also reach me by email at wade@wadepricehomes.com. And if you'd like to schedule a phone call or a Zoom meeting, uh, scan the QR code. I think there's one in the banner, or check the description box below. You can get that information there. Again, I'm Wade Price with eXp Realty, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay happy, stay curious, and keep dreaming big. See y'all soon.